Hello everybody, this is Trina. I am going to be working on project number 2, which is the second layout. We had a 2-page layout that ended up nothing like the 2-page layout, so I am going to go ahead and work on my little kit here that I put together that has all of the elements here, or should have if all goes well, for this layout. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and follow these instructions and see if I can actually get this completed in a decent amount of time. Alrighty, so we are working on the Oh My Heart papers here, and I've already prepped all of the pieces, so we don't have to worry too much about that. Now the camera is definitely focusing in and out, and that's just because I have a blank white piece of paper, so it's just having a hard time focusing on something in particular. I did decide to flip this white piece over so that I can, stamp closer to me rather than trying to reach clear up to the top of the page. So I'm going to do this upside down, and I'm prepping the stamp. I think I already did prep the stamp, the whole stamp set, but sometimes it's best to double check it. And always look at your stamp, make sure it's fully inked before you stamp. And that is nice and blurry. But yeah, again, it's the white page. It's just having a hard time focusing on nothing. So that actually worked pretty well for that. And then I was following the instructions, but not really. I like to do my stamping before I adhere it to the paper, just because if I screw it up, then I don't, then I can, get another piece of paper instead of having to unattach everything, especially when, once you have everything down. And that is exactly what I'm telling you with my hands. So I think I decided to, I'm not sure if I stamp it or not, but here I am trying to figure out exactly what I want to do first, kind of reading the instructions a little bit, and then I decided that I kind of need to look up the image to see what it looks like, and that's what it looks like, and make sure the colors are accurate, because when I printed out my instructions, again, if you haven't seen the last videos, when I printed out my instructions, the yellow is not yellow, it's kind of a pink, and so it just, my ink on my printer did not print well. So I am now having to use my phone as, or the image in the catalog as a reference, which I'm glad I can do, because I could technically just guess, but it wouldn't turn out exactly like the instructions, which I don't know that any of my projects actually did turn out exactly like the instructions, but I'm just kind of counting over to see, excuse me, to see which ones need to be what sizes and what colors and all of that. And obviously this focus, I didn't notice that the focus was doing this, but it's definitely, going in and out of focus a lot, which is kind of weird for my camera. I used to have this issue and then I stopped, but it really must be the white background that it's having issues with. So now I'm going in with, see, the colors for this collection are, let's see, we've got Glacier, we've got Lemonade, we've got Raspberry, Pixie, and Candy Apple. And then, of course, the Intense Black. You don't have to use Intense Black, you could just use black if you wanted to, or Archival Black works as well. So this one It told me to, the bottom of this piece needs to be at 3 inches up. So I lined it up with my layout here, and or with not my layout, with my grid on my, my pad there, and then I'm just putting these across here. And I wanted to line up that top strip there just because then I knew where I needed to do my stamping. I was just trying to stamp off a little bit of the ink there. When it's all sped up, I had to speed it up like 3 times the speed because it took me like an hour and a half to complete this whole layout, which, I mean, that's not really that bad considering, all the stamping and everything that goes into it. And the fact that I, put down pieces and didn't read the instructions right and forgot pieces and then had to add them back in and had to move things around and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, that's an hour and a half is really not that bad for a whole entire layout, especially with how cute this one turned out. I really do like how this one turned out, which is kind of why I kept it the same way that the instructions suggested because I don't know, I liked how it looked. Now this one, every time I stamped it, it felt like it was going to be way lower than it was supposed to be. And it never was, but always felt like it was. And I don't know, it was kind of hard for me to line up. So now I am going through adding adhesive to all of these. Now that strip just goes to the edge of, you can see it hanging out on both sides here, but it will just go to the edge of the larger paper. The 12 by 12 piece. And I don't remember how long it took me to line this up, but it felt like forever. So now I'm looking at the measurements on that on the instructions and just kind of seeing where I'm supposed to line things up. And I was going to start from the top left corner, and then I decided, you know what, that line is there and they're actually sitting right on that strip there. So I'm going to go ahead and attach those on that strip and just start from bottom and go up to the top. And I thought that would be an easier way to measure and get them into place. So because my printing is so bad, I'm still referencing my the layout on my phone, and I was supposed to do an 1/8 inch in between, and then I think at first I did a 1/4 inch, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. So then I go back and fix that, and then I realize I go through and I add, some of these, and I didn't see like this striped one, the glacier striped one is supposed to be at the end. I was like, wait a minute, that is like really close to the left hand or the right hand side of the page. I must be missing something. And then I was like, I am missing something. I had to add something in. I don't know exactly why. Oh yeah, that too. That was supposed to be 2 3/4, and I only did it at like 2. So that didn't work either. So I had to reset that as well. So if you actually read the instructions, it probably would only take you about, around an hour. And then I realized it's still not close enough. So what's going on? And that's when I realized I missed one. I missed a color. All you have to do is count the squares to know that you have to have five squares across the bottom. But thankfully, all of it was an easy fix. The adhesive came off really easily and it didn't tear and it actually worked. So, yay me! So now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. And then I realized, oh, I didn't have that piece of a pink square. And then I figured out that I had it in my extra um, card kit that I had made. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to do the card kit. Believe it or not, I was able to get this layout and 20 cards, 20 Valentine's cards done yesterday. And in this same city, not in the same sitting, well, the same day. And I was just like, my back hurt so bad from sitting there so long, but I was excited. I was excited to get them done. So, um, especially since the kids were gonna be taking the cards this morning, so I made sure and got all my photos and everything. If I have to retake the photos, then I guess we can't do that because they already took off with them all. And I donated the rest of the cards, whatever they didn't want to send to their friends or give to their friends or whatever to their, peoples. Then I donated them to the classroom so that the kids could take them or take them home and give them to their family members if they want to. And as you can see, that pink one is a little off. Like there's something off about it, and it just makes the crack like widen at the top. And I'm just like, are the space in between widen at the top? And I'm not sure what is going on, if that was cut crooked or what's happening. And this one definitely covers up that heart. But you know what? I'm okay with it. I don't really want to fight with it. It's not that important to me. And right now, it kind of looks like a hot mess, like, you're missing the whole center, what's going on. But once you put this over the top, you don't even notice. So, and this is my huge roll of foam tape. It's just 3M foam tape. I think it's 3/4 inch wide. And I was just kind of showing you guys that it tells you what measurement to measure as far as, away from the wall, those sides and stuff like that. So, and then I ended up not actually measuring and just going with how it looks. And this little thing was a pain. The M, so it says, "Oh my heart," and the O and the H work out great. The M in my does not work out so great. It actually tears in half, and I have found that when stickers tear in half or tear at all, you can use liquid glass, and you just add just a very little bit of liquid glass on the tear, on the back, like the front side of the tear, the white side, because it's like white inside. And then you add the other torn piece to that, and you just kind of hold it together. And if you do it slowly and like pay attention to where you're adhering it, you can make it look like it never happened. And I was so happy that I had the liquid glass prepped and primed and ready to go. That will come after I get this little car down here. This one is it's a cutie. The only thing I noticed was that it's got red on it and nothing else on the layout is red, so I was a little kind of thrown off by that, but I liked the little cart anyways. So I kind of liked it lifted up like that, but I didn't like how the lines just kind of stuck out. So I decided to, just line it up kind of where they have it on their layout, and then if I need to adjust it later, then I can do that. And of course, I have to add foam tape to everything. I'm just trying to make sure that it's actually going to fit. And then I was like, wait a minute, every time I put that down, it like clashes with some more foam tape. So I was like, okay, forget it. I'll just leave it like that. It's definitely gonna stay. I mean, I don't have anything to worry about. And here's the death of my M. And that's what I was like, oh, I just broke it in half. Sad panda. Sad panda. Okay, maybe I didn't have it primed. I thought I had it primed. Maybe I didn't. But I do get it to work. Yep. Evidently I didn't have it primed. Ooh. Memory lapse there. Because I, like, throughout all of the cards, once I did this, all the cards went so smoothly when I needed to use the liquid glass. Um, but yeah, there's the M. You can't even tell that it's ripped. Yay! And the Y is just fine. Just fine like that. Now, my son decided to use my T-square ruler. So then I was just like, I don't even know if he's done using it or not, so I'm going to have to ask him when he gets home. But you can line the edge of this, like this ruler has cross um, grids on it. Cross grids. Grid. It has a grid on it, and so that you can line that grid up with the edge of your paper, and it will make sure that your words are square to your paper, as long as you follow the edge of the ruler. And I love that. I really do love that. And I did start with the R because on the layout, the image of the layout, it's already like it kind of has a definitive place for it to be, and so I kind of wanted to make sure that that definitive place, it was there, and it helped me line it up in the long run. So, and there we are. So I'm not done quite yet. I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want to do, if I want to add the journaling strips yet or not. I don't know that I do. Excuse me. So that's when I decided to just set them aside and um, do some stickles, of course, because can't live without stickles. And at first I was going to do exactly like they did on the layout, and then I was like, Psh, I'm just going to add some more because I think it needs more. It needs some more. So I did. I did it. Um, and then I realized, oh, I didn't do all the stamping. But this one you really kind of would have had to do later on anyways. So, uh, because you needed to be able to tell where, everything was going to be stamped. So I'm looking at the hearts to see which ones are supposed to be what colors and how many there's supposed to be and which directions they're supposed to be, in. And so that's kind of what I do. Just go through it, and then I decide, you know what, this one needs to be silver. So then I just make it silver. And of course, then I go ahead and add silver all over the place. Because, that's just, I love the sparkle. I just love the reflective light. I don't know, it's just pretty. To me. So, definitely add more sparkle than necessary or required via the instructions. I did follow some of the instructions exactly, so I decided to just add some of the little speckles up here by the O to help bring your eye up to that, because that is technically part of the title. So, and of course, add some more sparkles. All right, so I think we're gonna be done with the voiceover. Okay, so this is what I have stopped with. I am evidently keeping it pretty much the same as the layout or the instructions say, mostly because I was, kind of squished for time. I did change up the heart down there and add a couple of other things. And for the journaling, I'm going to keep it in strips because I don't know exactly how long I would want my journaling to be, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it in the strips. And use them when I need them, because I may only have journaling up here, or I may have journaling in both, or just down here. It all depends on kind of what, what it ends up looking like, so, or what the photo's about. So this is the last layout for the Oh My Heart collection. If you are interested in it, it will be available until the end of February 2020, and I will leave the link in the description box below. This is just the second project. There is a 2-page layout as well as 40 different cards. There are 3x4 cards, but there's 40 of them, and you can use that for per instructions and do the 40 cards, or you can even just make, use the supplies for scrapbooking if you wanted to, or different projects that you want to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.